data errors. For example, one of the data capture instruments is copy or copy. We can apply that to reduce sorry, I'm not nervous.
Don't be, Haile, don't be.
You are right. In place of personal interviews, if we associate that with computer-aided personal interviews, or in place of telephone interviews, if you can accommodate that using computer-aided telephone interviews, that will reduce data errors. So this is about ex-ante optimization. Even ex-post applications are robust editing techniques. We'll come back to the details later. So there are techniques. The point that we are going to take is there are procedures that reduce data entry capturing errors. So there are phases of data processing. Data editing is not only at the phase of raw data or at the last stage of cleaning data, but it refers to the whole phases of data processing, starting from raw data received from respondents to the final clean data, which we are going to use for aggregate, so everywhere.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
When you refer clean data file, you refer already the production of indicators?
Pardon?
When you refer the clean data file at the end of this sequence,
yes,
are you referring to the production of indicators already or not yet?
Not yet. I think by clean data, we have some kind of overview of the data that we are going entering. So we are not yet there.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So
what do you mean by clean file or clean data?
Clean data is just like I said. We cannot totally, absolutely avoid errors, but at least to the maximum, we have put some corrective measures, some controls, and some modification techniques. And then after we apply that, we get a clean data. It's a better, relatively a better data.
Can I have an example of a non-clean data?
A clean data, for example, just
non-clean.
Non-clean.
Well,
dirty data.
let's take, for example, two indicators, the data for two indicators.
The answer from here, from this sheet.
I'm answering your questions. The number of businesses who use internet, and the number of businesses who use internet, and the number of persons who use the number of persons who use internet and the number of persons who use emails. Let's take this data. If, for example, if we have the raw data from an interpreter, the number of persons who use internet is 1,000, and if the number of persons who use email is 10,000, you see, we can just intuitively we see that there are errors. So it's not a clean data. It's not. Yeah.
Perfect.
We haven't edited this one.
Fine. Thank you.
Sure. We have the clean data clean 100%.
Like I said, where have you been, my like I said. You see, I'm not nervous, okay?
You are good.
Okay. So one of at different levels we have editing, like I said, at raw data, and just based on the way we do the editing, there are micro editing or input editing, or macro editing or output editing. I will come back later what macro editing and micro editing. If anyone of the participants have no prior knowledge about these things, can you please show me what micro editing is?
Sorry?
Micro or macro?
Micro.
Yeah.
Macro.
Yes, my dear.
And why it's an input editing?
I can give you an example.
Maybe start from definition.
In fact, you have said before, if lack of consistency inside the questionnaire, and then I rectify that, that is an
That's an
example
input label.
of internal error.
Thank you. About macro editing, anyone can try?
Macro editing is very interesting because you can look to historical information, time series, evolution on time, and you can observe that, for example, it's not expected that the V1 decreases. if in your survey B1 decreases during 3 or 4 years, something is wrong.
Yeah, but to do the micro editing, we have to some kind of graph aggregates. So we have to see the
Yes.
whole data. So that's why it's a macro at higher level. So